Hey, I'm Marina.
And I'm Emily.
And I've seen everything in the Sex and the City empire 10,000 times.
And I'm starting fresh.
So I'll be woman-splaining the show.
And I'm along for the ride.
But there's a twist. We are starting with And Just Like That and working our way back to the beginning.
So in other words, we're watching it backwards and in high heels.
This is City and the Sex. Welcome back. Do you like seeing our faces? I like seeing our faces because I'm vain.
This is a treat for us. Well, actually, specifically, this is a treat for Marina.
Yeah, I mean, I won't deny it. Today, I was like wearing all black and I was like, I can't, they're going to think I live like this.
Maybe we should just get uniforms. It's like every time we're in the same
little fit with the same little hat. You know, I would eat that up.
Fit. It is the same fit, but we have a different hat every time.
Ooh, I mean, listen, if you join our Patreon, then we can form a budget for that.
Yeah. Please donate to our costume fund.
And to our costume fund. Hey, we love a good costume.
Mm-hmm. And we love commitment to a bit.
Yes. Which I will say this episode is full of.
100%. My God. We're eating good. We're only 3 episodes in, and what a treat.
What a joy. You're like, wow, it was worth sitting through, what's 11 times 3? 33 hours of And Just Like That.
Yeah, my God.
to get here.
To get here to Atlantic City.
Glamorous. Really like before the decline also, which is incredible.
Yes, this really is a time capsule of like, it's not just Atlantic City. It's early 2000s Atlantic City when it was still what it was.
Like exciting. And like, I remember growing up and hearing about Atlantic City. There is an ominous floating Trump-sized ghost through this entire episode that I guess we'll just address now.
Yeah, we'll address it so we don't have to get into that. But much like, you know, the sort of Home Alone 2s and whatever, it's just sort of like, well, this is a tainted piece of media now.
Yeah.
This is forever in the shadow of current events.
I'll tell you this much. When I went to Atlantic City for the first time, it was during the pandemic.
Wow.
And so it was like a ghost town. But like everywhere was a ghost town, you know? But obviously a place full of indoor windowless hangouts is not going to be thriving in the pandemic.
You're right.
And but before we even were in the city, you know, there's a long highway over the marsh to get to the city. It's like this super long drive. It is very nice. And you like see the city get closer in the horizon. And as we were driving towards the city, we saw what appeared to be an explosion followed by a plume cloud in the distance. And we were like, what on earth was that? And so I Google, obviously, immediately. I'm like on Twitter being like, what has happened?
Yeah.
And they had imploded the Trump casino. It was, I think it was the Trump Plaza. It was not the Taj. The Taj now is, I think, the Hard Rock Cafe anyway, or something like that. But it was this other Trump hotel and casino that they had imploded.
Yeah. Okay. I remember this. Yeah. It didn't occur to me until you started explaining. I was like, you saw history being made.
I saw history being made. And so we drove in through the plume and it was like, and then what was crazy was like to get to the parking garage that we were trying to get to, we like drove past the site. So we got to see the like mountain of debris and like all these people with signs that were like F Trump or whatever.
Yeah.
It was like really like that was my introduction to Atlantic City, was like the rock bottom of Trump's existence and permeance there.
My God. What an impression. What a historical moment. It's very like, you know, it feels very Forrest Gump. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're like, I was there when the thing fell.
I
experienced this.
Seeing just gray smoke plume on the horizon and being like, where are we going.
I mean, already saying I went to Atlantic, the first time I went to Atlantic City was during the pandemic, was a story in and of itself, because I'm like, that's the most insane time to experience it, especially for your first time. But nope, you managed to also be there when that happened, which is fun.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Anyway, this episode is sponsored by Atlantic City Tourism.
Oh wait, this just in. Atlantic City Tourism has pulled their sponsorship for this episode.
Damn. Just like
dang.
that. This is one of my favorite episodes, though.
I will say, by experience of this, I was so excited for this because I knew about the Atlantic City trip because of our Baldur's Gate series on YouTube. So I also knew like isolated quotes and things, and when it happened, it was very exciting for me. But the minute someone mentions it, I can't remember who. It's like, oh, it's Richard. It's like Samantha and Richard first suggested. I was like, butterflies. I was so excited. I was like, I know what's coming. Why is it one of your favorites, do you think?
I think, first of all, it's like it sort of breaks the pattern. You know, they go to this kooky place and they all sort of get really kooky. You know, Carrie cares about friendships. Surprised.
Right.
And I think it just like it's like it has the jokes that are actually funny. It's not like come sleep with me in club bed. You know what I mean? It's like the puns are punning, the wordsmithery is wordsmithing, and the energy is really great. I feel like Carrie is like in a good energy where she's like not annoying me. And I think it's just like it's one of the rare episodes that has like a poetic ending. Like has like kind of a depth to it. Do you know what I mean? Besides just like, am I going to die a single girl?
Yeah. That is a good point. That's a good way to put it. And it doesn't feel heavy-handed or anything. It is one of those episodes where I finish it and I'm just like, man, the wonders of, sorry to sound like broken record, of 30-minute television. Like, it's just the amount that happened in this, like, I was never bored. And we had like highs and lows and all over the place and a nice little ending with a bow on top. I'm like, this is just good. This is like good TV, you know?
Yeah. And like, I think because they had this thing about being in Atlantic City and it was new and it was different, I feel like they were like experimenting with camera work so much more. Like I literally had the thought that was like, wow, yeah. And just like that was really just like a lot of static medium shots of people's faces.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and they look beautiful. Nothing wrong with that. They have beautiful faces. But like, you know, like there's one scene when they're in the plane and it like pulls away from Samantha and Richard making out like through the porthole of the plane. And so you see like Samantha's shoes kicking and Charlotte looking all distressed in the porthole. Yeah. And I was like, that's on a studio lot.
Yeah.
Like, and they made that fun and creative and visually interesting.
Right. Because they, you know, it's amazing what people can do when they care.
Yep. Uh-huh. Yoinks! Yeah. So, well, let's get into it.
I'm never going to stop just throwing shade. All right, let's get into it.
I mean, never stop. Never say never. Okay. This is Sex and the City, Season 5, Episode 3, Luck Be an Old Lady. What was your one word for this episode, Emily?
I wanted it to be roulette, but I feel like that's because I feel like of all the games for them to play, I feel like them getting addicted to roulette was just like the funniest for me. So I wrote that down as the thing that I got attached to. I think there's something just really like fun about it being the game that kind of has no logic to it. You know what I mean? It's just sort of like you are just throwing your money away. And there was something really fun about that. So I just made it roulette.
My one word is Atlantic titty. That is,
who says that?
Samantha says it. I've never heard a more brilliant phrase. That is a Mark Twain Prize winning phrase.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm honestly ashamed I've never thought of that.
Yeah, that specifically. Not even New York titty. I'm disappointed you haven't come up with Atlantic titty.
Atlantic titty. New York titty, like, doesn't
ring
roll.
Right.
Atlantic titty, it's like, I think there's something about the way that Atlantic City hits. I don't know, man.
It's right.
But
It's right.
I'm never looking at the word city ever again.
Okay.
Well, let's get into it. We open with Carrie at a bar. Mm-hmm. And she's waxing poetically about like, you know, when you've been on your first blind date in a decade, it's crucial to have the right attitude, you know, or hope for the best, prepare for the worst. This was confusing to me because she like sees a hot guy, then she sees another hot guy who just stares at her. And then she's like, weirdo.
Yeah, she's going on a journey that I'm not necessarily following, but okay, you know, like I don't understand why one guy is good and the other isn't. They're all kind of the same.
Yeah, because then she says pleasantly surprised, and then it's like a guy with a headset plugged into a phone, like a brick 80s cell phone. And I'm like, and this guy is better than guy who was hot and looking at you?
Okay. I mean, when she says right, you have to be in the right headset, I would love to mindset. I just want to know what mindset we're in. Like, what is the thing you're looking for, Carrie?
I'm like, you've shown me 3 hot guys, one of whom is on the phone, and you thought the one on the phone was the best option? Like, I just was so confused. I don't know. The whole opening here, I was a little like, what is happening? But then we cut to her at brunch with the girls, and we learn that she got stood up. And this was, we enter sort of a whole conversation here about like how blind dates like suck and whatever. And like blind dates are
Samantha
sort of,
says blind dates are beneath you.
Exactly. And it was kind of watching it. I had this moment where I was like, wow, apps and online dating in general have messed things so much that like blind dates seem nice.
Yeah. No,
like that was
true.
the thought I had. I was like, I didn't understand it was this so much spite for this.
That's a really good point. Like, you know, the line stood out to me because I like don't agree. I think it's sort of fun, but an actual blind date, right? Like not a first date from an app kind of thing. Like actually, I don't really know what I'm in for, but we set this up or someone set this up and I'm just going to go for it. Like sounds kind of fun. And I didn't really think about that until you just said that of just like, oh yeah, was this actually like the bottom of the barrel? But like now because it's so bad, this seems fun and spontaneous.
Now because we've lost human connection and people don't recommend Friends anymore.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, I would actually love this. Like that was my thought.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, they're really going in on blind dates.
Blind dating.
Like, I've never been on a blind date.
And I mean, taking it out of the context too, what's actually wrong with it? What's so bad about it?
I mean,
because isn't, you know, getting set up by someone great? Like, they kind of filter out strangers for you a little bit. And then if you're not into it, you're not into it. It's fine.
I mean, I feel like you could be set up by somebody you don't like, you know? Which I feel like, I remember that episode where Charlotte's talking to that woman at the synagogue and she's like, you have to go out with my son David, right? Like that would be a blind date. And I probably would be annoyed by that because I'm like, right. I don't really like you. And that means I'm probably not going to like your son David.
Right.
But like, there's no dialogue here that's like, my annoying friend, Bitsy Von Muffling, said he'd be great. And then you're like, oh man, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It just made me laugh where I was like, that's, you know, a lot of people talk about how like Sex in the City is pre-cell phones and like, couldn't dating be pre-cell phone and like whatever. And I feel like this was sort of one of the lost things. Like, I feel like we lost blind dates for better or for worse.
Yeah, very true.
But then of course, you know, Charlotte's like, we have to get to the bottom of this. And Carrie sort of states the thesis of this episode, which is like, why would I put myself through this awful dating experience when I could just have fun with you guys? And Samantha's like, I'm never going to fuck you. Great.
Good response.
And then Charlotte kind of offers the counter thesis of the whole episode, which is like, you have to take risks or else you're going to become an old maid. And then they go into this whole back and forth that every woman has had, which is like older men are bachelors, older women are old maids. And then Samantha, though, puts that little twist on it that's like, even with shriveled dicks. And then Carrie's like, new topic.
Yeah, I like how just they usually there's like some kind of segue where someone's like, speaking of that, and then whatever. I do like that Carrie's just like, we're done.
Yeah, exactly. I heard the word dick and it's over.
Yeah, and I will scream at the sky.
So then we pivot to the fact that it's Charlotte's 36th birthday, but she's sticking to 35, which, you know, I'm 31 years old, unfortunately, at the time of recording, and I'm sticking to the fact that I'm 30. I get that.
Yeah, no, yeah. Pick your number that you want. It's fine.
That's what
like
you are.
At this point, you get to just pick whatever.
Hey, I deleted all the dates on LinkedIn. You don't know when I graduated.
Yeah, exactly. It's so real.
So then,
nice try.
I know. Somebody gave me that hack one day, and I was like, "This is the new me."
I'm 26.
But Carrie's like, "Oh, we should do something for Charlotte's birthday." And then, of course, you know, Miranda's like, "I have a baby. I'm booked out for a year." Samantha reveals she's going to Atlantic City, foreshadowing. And then Charlotte's like, "I'm good. I don't need to celebrate." And I do love Carrie's like finishing line here where she's like, "We can't get together to celebrate Charlotte's 34th birthday. This is bullshit." As it like zooms in on her.
Yeah.
I mean, incredible.
Good. Like, this is a good Carrie oneer, right? Is pulling 34th birthday out of nowhere. Good. That's why she has a column.
Hell yeah. And I'm reading it this week.
You know, writing about, like, the woman. You know what I mean? I'm like, this is writing.
This is relevant to me.
Also, I do love the run-on theme that I'm sensing of Charlotte's birthdays constantly getting upstaged by something else and nobody wanting to celebrate it, I think is really funny. I like that this is a mainstay.
Yeah. I don't remember at all. There is one very famous episode about Carrie's birthday, one of Carrie's birthdays. Okay. I'm like, I don't know that we celebrate anybody else's birthday, but I do like that when we celebrate Charlotte's, we almost skip it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a great point.
Good world building.
So Carrie's at home. She's like, there's no friends, no dates, and no TV. And so she's like, that's it. I'm making this work. And so she's talking to Samantha on the phone. She's like, well, I got Miranda to get Steve to take care of the baby. And Charlotte will go as long as we pretend that it's not her birthday. You have to just get away to get out of Atlantic City. And what inspires her is that she sees like an old picture of the four of them. And she's like, the last time we took a group picture, it's getting moldy. Like it's been so long. And Samantha's like, I don't really know. Richard, can I skip? And then Richard pulling the ultimate move, going, why can't they all just come along? Excellent.
Yeah. And even is like, they'll take the jet. Casually.
That's all we want. Men are like, women are so hard, so complicated. No, we just want you to invite us all on the jet.
Yeah, exactly. And they're just immediately so much warmer to him the next time they see him. They're like, yeah.
They all completely...
He took us on the jet.
The jet wipes the memory that he cheated on her.
Yeah. It's so true.
Like you bring up an excellent point. Remember how stingy they all were at the baptism?
Yeah. Like confrontational and stingy and avoid it. And here he like comes by the table and they're like, ha, you. The power of a jet.
The power of a jet, man. So Carrie picks up Miranda to go to the presumed jet. And I do love the fake out that Miranda has here where she's like, I don't know. I don't think I can be separated from the baby. And then she's like, just kidding. Can't wait. I'm ready.
It's very funny. Yeah.
And Magda's showing Carrie all the baby pictures on the fridge that clearly she has taken. To presume that Miranda took them is hilarious to me.
Yeah. I mean, this is so sad. Can I just say, like, I genuinely found this scene really sad because I I know that Miranda is not a good mother. Like I have seen enough, and I have seen
maybe not a maternal force, but yes,
yeah. I've seen what Brady turns into, so there's also like it's hard to wind the clock back to him just being a baby. But there's something just sad, I think, to me about, maybe it just hit home, of just like watching the sort of like the nanny who cares more about the baby and is taking the pictures, and Miranda's like, you think I took those? I'm like, that's your kid. And then also the way that Magda like excitedly brings Carrie over, like it's her own grandkid, you know what I mean? She's like, look, and brings her in. She's like, aren't they beautiful? It just like kind of melted my heart a little bit. And I really love Magda, and this scene made me sad. I think there's going to be a run-on theme where I just don't like how Miranda handles the people that work for her.
Yeah. I mean, and also Carrie as well. Instead of Carrie, like for some reason, I don't know why the acting choice here is for her to be like, oh, okay.
Yeah. It's weird, as if it's weird for this woman to like care about a baby.
Right. It's like, but she lives here.
Yeah.
And takes care of the baby. She's not a stranger.
No, it's weirder to be weirded out by this. Like, this is actually really sweet that Magda like cares so much about this kid, you know. But she's like, okay, weirdo. The whole thing is just bad.
But then Miranda comes back in and says, you know, I've got a big sweater, you know, because she's clearly sort of like postpartum. What's funny is that in real life, she's just pregnant.
Nice.
Which is like such a funny thing to keep in your head, that like she and SJP are pregnant at the same time.
Yeah.
In this episode.
God, what a time to be alive on this set.
Isn't that wild? But anyway, so, you know, clearly she's self-conscious a little bit about her, you know, her body post-baby. And so she's like, I got a big sweater and I got stretchy pants. Do you think that's okay? And I do love Carrie being like, stretchy pants, like those are the national pants of Atlantic City. Like, excellent. But then we get a harrowing trauma-filled scene.
Oh boy.
Which is that Steve brings the baby back and says that he can't do it because he's too scared that he will kill the baby. Which, on one level, I relate to, in terms of like, I didn't grow up babysitting. And so every time somebody leaves me with a baby, I'm always like, but what if I smush it? Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm like,
right.
I'm scared, you know, because they are so fragile and whatnot. On the other hand, like, are you not a grown-ass man who's like begging to be part of this woman's life and this baby's life?
Yeah, this was weird. Because all I've seen so far of him in the relationship is him being like trying to be involved, and then when he's involved he's like, I can't do it. I was like, all right.
I feel like they wanted to put some tension in here,
yeah,
and also introduce the bus, I guess. But I almost wonder why. It's like, because Steve is immature. I feel like you haven't seen that immature Steve yet. It's in like earlier seasons. But I do feel like they're trying to make the argument that like he's like getting himself together somewhat for this baby. I don't know. The fact that he doesn't even come over and like say, can Magda help me? Or like, can I stay here? I don't know.
Yeah. The fact that he was so desperate, like he was so convinced that he was not going to be able to take care of the baby that he brought the baby all the way back over to this apartment just to hand it back and be like, can I just ruin your weekend to give you this baby? Like, this man really gave up and the weekend didn't even start.
Yeah.
This is not a good look.
Yeah, rough. I feel like they do him dirty here. We can add that to this they do Steve dirty count. So then we cut to Samantha and Richard making out on the plane, and then Charlotte shows up and she's like, where's everybody else? And Samantha's like, oh, they had some baby drama. Again, Samantha being very dismissive of baby. They had some baby drama. They couldn't come. It's just going to be us. Which, like, what a nightmare to third wheel that.
I mean, once again, I love this bit. I love Charlotte being just miserable on her birthday every time. But it's like, she's trying to have a good time, but like, for some reason, her closest friends are always getting in the way of that. So like, she's ready for this trip with the girls. She even, like, pulls out this crochet thing and is like, I'm making a thing for, like, Brady. It's, like, it's all very sweet. Like, she's, like, I don't know, she's being the, like, the friend who's on a friend trip, making a gift for her friend on her birthday. You know what I mean? And she walked into the most nightmare situation I think I could possibly pick. Is a tiny jet with your friend and his cheating ex making out in front of you and you think you gave you can explain the present thing, but that I think was like the last straw. I think at that point I'm like leaving the plane.
See, this is the thing that they insert to the script that is like so goofy that it works. Like it surmounts the goof to a level where it works because it like is somehow in character and is so ludicrous that you're like you there's nothing you can do but relate to Charlotte. Whereas in there, just like that, they just like do crazy things and you're like, I can't relate to this as a human being. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like,
this is not a human experience that has happened.
That she walks over, sees this gift, is like, oh, it's for me, opens it. It's a pearl thong, which like, let's just kiki about that for 2 minutes.
Okay.
I don't even want to talk about how she wears it outside as like normal underwear, because that's illegal.
That's basically commando at that point. I mean,
but like an uncomfortable commando.
Yeah.
But also it's like, I just don't know. They kept being like, oh, like Carrie has a voiceover that's like, normally it would be something pleasurable. I'm like, is this pleasurable? Plastic beads all up in your taint? TMI for this episode. If you're disturbed by the concept of taint, you should shut this off now. But like pearls from tip to taint, to quote Richard, is crazy to me.
I feel like this is definitely, I mean, this is kind of what happens in the episode though. This is one of those things where it's like on paper, maybe it seems fun because it's like stimulating. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you actually wear it and you're like, wait, I hate this.
Yes.
Like, I feel like that's what one of these things are. Not that, I mean, I don't know. Maybe donate to our costume fund and we will try it out.
That's our next page. But you can vote for that in our pop culture rant. Will be Emily and I try pearl thong and let you know how it is for a day. You can't even wear pants with that. You have to wear a dress because if not, like it like pop, it like shows through.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I just don't. I mean, at least with the thong, I feel like you can get it to stay in place. With the pearls, I don't know how this is going to. I don't know. I don't want to think about the technicals. I just do like that the end of the episode is her being like this stupid thing and taking it off, because that is like the funny conclusion for this.
Exactly. But here Charlotte learns about, you know, she's like, oh, and then Richard's like, I'm going to get you a matching pearl necklace. And then she's like, my dad gave me a pearl necklace at my sweet 16. And then Samantha ruining yet another birthday, being like, we're talking about the other kind, aka he's gonna drip jizz on my neck. It's crazy. Incredible.
It's so absurd that it works. You know what I mean? It's like, it's great. It's absurd that they're even having this conversation in front of Charlotte. Like, let alone that it's her birthday or whatever. It's like that you're even talking about this in front of her is crazy.
I love it. I love it. And then that slow zoom out that's like, this is the worst plane ride of her life. And we're watching it unravel. 12 out of 10.
Excellent. Also, fun foreshadowing, because we know from And Just Like That, Charlotte likes that.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Isn't that insane? How the tables have turned.
How Richard changed her life.
This is where she gets the idea.
So then we cut to Miranda and Steve arguing about like whether or not he's going to take this baby. And then I love that Carrie's like, Magda and I talked and she's going to help Steve take care of the baby. And then Miranda's like, that's not her job, which I was sort of like, I too, like Carrie was like, what? And then I love that Carrie's just like, throw money at the problem and let's get out of here.
This made me sad again.
It did.
Because like, I think it's like Magda seems to be the nanny, but perhaps she's not working on the weekends. Like she has clearly a set thing that she's supposed to be doing. So Miranda is like, that's not her job, is to just like be around and pick up our shit on her day off or whatever. And then Carrie in front of Magda says, come on, just throw money at the problem and be done with it. And I'm like, Oh my God. This is so Upper East Side that it's kind of traumatizing me. Is like the way that they talk in front of these people. And then also this kind of thinking of like throw money at the problem. It's like, that's a person. And it's not her job. And maybe she actually doesn't want money to like do this. Maybe she had fucking plans to go to Atlantic City this weekend. Fuck you.
You know, I've never tracked Magda's job. So Magda starts as housekeeper. And so maybe she's still housekeeper in this capacity. And that's why Miranda's like, she doesn't do kid, she does house.
Right.
But she's like, I think maybe that's why they're showing her putting the baby on the fridge. It's like she clearly cares about kid. And then at some point, Magda's like basically the nanny. Because when they move to Brooklyn, like Magda moves with them, I think. I think you see her move with them. In the movies, she's there taking care of Brady.
Oh, that's right.
And also, last episode, we had Miranda being like, I've hired help, Steve. I don't need you. And then now she's like, oh, no, Magda can't look after the baby for a weekend.
Oh, no, I think you are onto something because she does say earlier that she can't go to Atlantic City because the nurse quit. So the Asian woman we saw in the last episode.
Yes.
So I think you're onto something. Magda is not the nurse.
I think she's not a nanny at this moment.
Yeah.
Which, fine. But it is kind of crazy to me that she didn't even think to like ask like, hey, would you be willing to make some extra money this weekend? Especially when last week literally last week, she's like, I don't need your help, Steve. I've hired enough help, you know?
Yeah.
Come get this umbilical cord for my cat. That's what you're good for. Well, they figure it out.
Yeah.
At Magda's expense. Rip Magda.
At Magda's expense. I'm gonna become the number one Magda defender on this podcast. I just want everyone to be aware of that.
But she's nothing but lovely.
Is she?
Maybe the only decent character in this whole show. I said it. I said it.
The only person with a soul.
Recall the only person who was like pushing Miranda and Steve together.
True. That she made that happen.
Without her, going nowhere. So then we see Miranda and Carrie are on the bus because Miranda's like, how are we even going to get there? I'm like, it's an hour away. Not really. It's like 2, but you get my point. I'm like,
yeah,
we're not
she doesn't
like,
know what to do. She's
going
like,
to San
cabs
Francisco.
don't go there. What do we do?
So they're on the bus and they're really driving home the old maid thing. You know, it's all old ladies going to gamble. I do love the line here that Miranda has, which is like, because Carrie is like, where are all the men? And Miranda's like, dead or married to 20-year-olds. And then we have a little bit of banter here between her and Carrie where, you know, she's like, oh, I'm like 5 issues behind on my New Yorker. I'm so excited to read it. And Carrie's like, it's crazy that the New Yorker is your porn. And then we get into this great tit for tat about investing in your friendships, which last episode, Miranda literally was like, my friendships are my most important thing.
Yeah.
Now Carrie's like, you don't invest in friendships enough. I'm like, you were the one who looked at her in her eyes and said, Miranda, you're a mother.
Yeah. Get her ass in 4K. Get it.
I'm like, oh, because you're lonely. You suddenly care. I see you.
Yeah. Carrie likes to have principles when it affects her.
Yeah. But I do love where she's like, you have to invest in it like a retirement plan. And then Miranda's like, did you finally open that IRA? And she's like, no. And then she's like, it's an emotional retirement plan. Again, convenient for you. So then we get the opening Taj Mahal casino shot in all its glory.
2000s.
And 2000s. I love how she goes, oh my God, I've missed this. And Samantha accurately was like, you've never been here. And then she's like, the smell of cigarettes.
So they can smoke inside still.
Yeah. Hell yeah. So then they're sort of like comparing their experiences on the plane and the bus. And then Carrie says, you know, all that's, you know, behind us. Like, I'm taking my ladies to dinner, lobster, steak. It's on me. And she's like holding a wad of cash. Great. Great. So then the girls are at dinner. Again, Carrie's like, this is fantastic. And Samantha's like, is that a euphemism for tacky? And I was like, wow, that's our country.
Yeah. In a nutshell, unfortunately. Yeah.
I'm proud to
That's a
be
good call.
an American. Okay. And so then Miranda's like, Charlotte, I got you a birthday gift, and Charlotte's refusing it. And then she gets her the literal card game Old Maid.
Hilarious.
Which I know it's like for the bit, but like, yeah, if I was Charlotte, I would be offended too.
Yeah, yeah, it's like it's for people. First of all, it's for people who have a sense of humor, which like we know Charlotte does not. And then, but also like, yeah, she just talked about how she's like, I'm in denial, and then they're like, ha, Old Maid. I think if I did this to you, like if we had this exact, it's your 36th birthday, we go to Atlantic City, we're having this exact interaction, and I give you Old Maid, what happens?
You know that Vine where the guy's outside and he goes, so no head? And then he like throws the phone and he like jumps on the skateboard and he snaps it in half?
Yes.
That's what I'm doing. I'm going, oh, this is my birthday gift? And then I'm throwing it against the wall and then I'm snapping the skateboard in half.
Yeah. Good. That's exactly what I was expecting.
Okay, I do it to you. What are you doing?
Oh God. If you give it to me on my 36th birthday, I take this thing. For a half second, I'm in on the bit, and so I laugh really hard. And then you kind of continue the conversation, and you notice I haven't moved my eyes away from the cards. And you go, "Hey, Emily," and I go, "Yeah," but I don't look away. And you go, "Emily," and then you notice there's like a single tear. It's just forming and slowly running over the edge of my eye, just down the cheek, silently, slowly, and you just go, Emily?
And then you're just like stuck like that.
Yeah.
and then I go, check please?
Yeah. And then we get the food to go, and you take me to my room.
Yeah. And then I tuck you in.
And then you tuck me in. And you feed me like the Sex and the City movie.
I come in with a little tiny bowl of yogurt. And I'm like, here you go.
Yeah. I'm sitting in the dark.
Wow. Whew. Whew. Yeah, that's our friendship in a nutshell, I think. Yeah.
That's the depth of our experience.
That's the well of our experience. So they kind of go back and forth about the Old Maid box, and then Richard shows up and he's like, do you want to come with me, Samantha, to what the fuck ever? And then she's like, no, I'm gonna stay with my girls. And then a hottie shows up, and then suddenly she's like, oh, I actually have to go. I love that, like, Miranda's like, yeah, I have to pump. And then Samantha's like, how could you bring me to this restaurant? Again, another incredible pun. I don't know.
Incredible one-liner. Samantha, you could have a column. I'd read it.
Hey, might be more entertaining. Okay. She actually has sex? Okay.
No one is safe this episode.
No. So Samantha leaves, mid-toast, and then the guy comes to like take their picture, and Carrie's like, well, we're supposed to take it as a picture of 4. So then we cut to Miranda. She's gambling on the floor. This is not roulette, what they're playing. Is this craps?
I don't know what she's playing in the scene.
What is that big bowl table where they yell things and you throw the dice and then things happen?
I think that's craps.
I think it is
where
craps.
You're throwing the thing. Yeah. As my mother said before I took a girls' trip to Vegas, she was like, if you hear people having fun and laughing, screaming, that's the craps table. Go over there.
Okay. All right.
And she was correct.
Mama tip. So she's winning and she like doesn't want to leave. And I love Charlotte being like, no one here has offered us drinks. And then Carrie's like, they're free. And I was like, are drinks free in casinos?
They are if they want you to stay. They do bring you free drinks. But I don't know if anyone's bringing Charlotte drinks when she's just standing around scowling in his outfit. They're like, I don't want you to stay.
The outfit is perfect. It's like the most high neck of shirts.
Yeah. She's dressed like the woman.
The woman, exactly. She's got her carpet bag. Looking into the unknown. So then this man leans over to Carrie. By the way, in my headcanon, this guy and his friend are you and I.
Okay, yeah, good.
So from this day forward,
good.
I'm going to say that we had a cameo in this episode.
Yeah.
I decided on the spot, I was like, this is my inside joke. And
I like that. I'm committed to that too.
You're definitely like the man who talks to Carrie, and I'm definitely the guy next to him being like, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I love it. I'm committed. This is our bit.
This is our new bit. So he's like, or I should say, you're like,
I'm like,
blow on these dice for good luck. And then Carrie's like, no, get my friend Charlotte. And then I'm like, no, ask the hot one.
Out loud to her face.
And then Carrie, sure enough, blows on the dice, and then they win, and Miranda loses, and Carrie gets $1,000 chip, which is a lot of power.
Yeah. Let's see how she uses this wisely. I do love that at first. I love the bit of Miranda gambling and being really excited about it, and Carrie being like, you can't just keep throwing your money away. She's like, what are you doing? Whatever. And then the minute that she gets the money and Miranda loses it, she's not concerned anymore. She's like, well, tough luck. And she's just like super happy to have her money. It's very funny.
Yeah.
I also like does not give a shit.
I also love that everybody's self-absorbed. Like Charlotte's still like, why would they say the blonde one?
Yeah.
And Miranda's like, what are you going to do with that money, huh? You going to put it down? You got to put it down. Put it down. Put it down, Carrie.
Yeah. And Carrie's just like, Carrie's still beaming because someone called her the hot one.
Yeah, you know that hit hard.
That was her gambling win, basically. You know, the high that Miranda was just feeling, Carrie is feeling that right now. She's like glowing.
Yeah. I mean, we were really nice to her.
Yeah.
And then she's like, let's go see ZZ Top in the magic carpet room.
What a line.
God, say that to a Gen Z right now.
They would have a conniption.
And then it'd be the next Skibbity toilet. Okay.
Let's go see Skibbity toilet in the what is it? Magic carpet room. Anyway.
Miranda says no because she has pay-per-view and a frozen Milky Way. Sad. The one thing I do relate with her, though, is she says, if I stop for a minute, I have to lie down. I feel like that.
That feels right. Yeah, when you lose the momentum. That seems, I see what she's saying.
People always say to me, like, how are you so productive? Like, how do you do so many things? And I always say, if I hit the couch, nothing is happening.
Yeah.
I just have to keep going until I can't go no more.
Good. Healthy. Excellent.
Healthy, yeah. Top-notch mental health. Better health.
Also, I like the unintentional foreshadowing, I gotta say, to Miranda's, like, addictive personality.
Yeah.
Like, that's really funny that they've accidentally walked into foreshadowing here.
Put that in there. Yeah, exactly. So they all separate, and then Carrie's in her hotel room, and she's like dating in casinos, everybody's hoping to hit the jackpot, but mostly you wind up broke. And her I couldn't help but wonder of the episode is, if the house always wins, why gamble? What I love about this scene, it's like we always see Carrie at the laptop.
Yes. Okay.
And to see her, the same thing. Yeah, to see her scribble on the note that is product placement for the Taj Mahal. It's like it's even I don't even know how deeply they realized like how othering this whole episode is, like how they're out of their natural element. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I just thought it was like so beautiful.
Yeah, I love little touches like this that also just make it seem so much more real. Like Carrie, I've like kind of like you said, I was like enjoying a lot of her little bits in this episode. Like even when they split up, the little shriek she does is like very cute. The little like, ee! And then they like walk away in the middle of that. I just like there's like all these little cute little isms that she's doing that I find really endearing. And then they have this scene where it's like, it just feels much more like a real person than she normally does, where she feels like such a caricature, and like she is the poster child of like main character girl syndrome, whatever, who like is not actually really relatable.
Mm-hmm.
This actually feels like a person. And I feel like one of the things was this scene, because there's something nice to see her kind of like have a thought and be inspired and grab a thing. It's like spontaneous. It actually feels like a writer. There's something about the laptop scenes that, because they're so, I guess, repeated, and like because of the voiceover and scripting, it kind of feels like a sort of like staged thing that like is not real. You know what I mean? It feels like almost we take out of the episode and we're just watching the narrator narrate directly to us to camera. That's how kind of like out of it feels. It doesn't ever really feel like she's a writer until like this moment where it's like, oh, I can see her like process, and she has little thoughts and scribbles them down. It was like such a nice little touch. I'll probably feel more of that when we get to pre-laptop era too. But I just like stuff like that of her just kind of like, I don't know, grabbing a napkin or something and being like, I have an idea.
Yeah, I agree. Delicious. Then we cut to Samantha and Richard, and the hot maid shows up, and basically Samantha feels inadequate. And Richard's like, you can't seriously be jealous of the maid. And he sort of reassures her, and then she blows him.
It's funny how that got you absolutely nothing. That got you maybe an hour of comfort and trust in him. And then you're back to this.
Yeah. Again, luckily we end in a good place.
Yeah.
But
thank goodness.
Sad.
It's very sad to see.
Then we get one of the best pivots of the whole episode, which is Charlotte in her shower cap and her robe, realizing she's the old maid. I love that the suitcase is just like cardigans.
Yeah. Just knit clothing, like, gosh.
And then she has a crisis, and we can tell, we don't know what's going to happen, but she's made a change to do something.
Mm-hmm.
So we cut to Carrie and Miranda at the slots, and Samantha shows up, and she's like, I think Richard is all fucked out now. And basically that she had to participate in defensive fucking. Basically that if she had so much sex with him that he couldn't possibly have sex with anybody else.
Sad.
Rough. Rough.
It's all right, girl. It won't last much longer.
And then it's solved by Miss Atlantic Slutty. Which is Charlotte coming in like the trashy, sling top dress that was like so popular at that time. I remember my sister had like 4 or 5 different color versions of this kind of top. And I remember thinking to myself, like, this is what an adult woman wears.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I can't wait.
Yeah, I can't wait to rock this.
Although, can I say she looks great?
Yeah, no, she looks amazing. I mean, it's kind of, Kristen Davis, I feel like, does get a lot of, I don't know what to say, like attention for being like the pretty one, I feel like. And I can kind of see why you can't like dress her like this and do her makeup and hair like this all the time, because like it kind of is a show stealer. She comes in literally like with a beautiful blowout. If you come in with hair that makes me go, man, I wish they made hairspray like they used to. You look good.
Yeah.
But that was what I was thinking.
She's too powerful. She's too potent.
It's too powerful. We gotta put her back in the third wheel spot on the plane. We gotta bring her back down to earth.
Where she belongs in the natural hierarchy.
Where she belongs. Somebody say old maid.
Put her in her place. I do love where they're like, is that Charlotte? And they're like, that's Harlot. Phenomenal. And then all the girls are back to gambling. And this is where, Miranda, she's like putting all her chips in. She's like, you have to play big to win big. And then she loses everything. And so then she turns to Carrie and she's like, give me your chip. And Carrie's like, no. And they get into a little back and forth. And then the dealer is like, you got to make a choice about whether you're staying or you're leaving, because there's like people waiting for you. So like, are you playing or what? And so then they decide to kind of get up. And then Carrie's like, okay, but quickly, can you take a picture of us? And then we get the scene, which is that miscellaneous man yells out, "Hey, Red, move your fat ass." And Carrie whips around and says, "What did you say?" And they get into a whole little back and forth, and he's like, "Fuck you." Charlotte goes like, "Hey, she just had a baby." And Miranda's like, "Right. My ass is fat because I had a baby."
Yeah.
And then Samantha comes in with the, "What's your excuse?" And Carrie tops it off with the, "Yeah, having triplets." And then everybody claps, and she's like, "It was a better show than the fight down the hall."
Insane. Everything about this is like such a out of context. If anyone sees the scene, Sex and the City looks like the most insane show. It's like every line is something that you're like, wait, what did they just say? And then they just keep going and you don't have time to think about it. I also, Carrie's delivery for, "Yeah, ya having triplets?" I love that she says it like she's on Sesame Street.
I know.
Like just sounds it out slowly. It's very funny.
And she like is Southern.
Yeah.
Like suddenly she's been transported to Alabama and you're she's like
Dolly
what?
Parton. And her hair also this is the worst I've seen it.
Yes. So I hate to say it, but remember when I was like, I like the short hair most of the time. And then every once in a while they like do something where I'm like, ew, this is what I'm referring to.
Yeah.
I don't like the tight curl, the tight Annie curl.
Really
I'm
bad.
So sorry.
Yeah.
It's a no from me, dog.
No, it's not. And the makeup doesn't do her any favors either. She's got like very thick, smoky raccoon eyes with the curly hair and then the like sort of juicy couture zip up. It's like everything about this vibe is very Jersey. You've been Jersified, but I don't like that.
You've been Jersified. You've been electrified. Yeah, no. This is always the hair that, and I think she does do it in a couple more episodes, but like this is always the hair where I'm like, ugh. Like the hair that she starts with at the beginning of the episode, that's like sort of those loose waves or whatever, I think looks really cute. But anytime she like suctions the hair to her head or does really tight ringlets with the short hair, it's like, I'm so sorry. So sorry for your loss.
I'm so sorry for your loss.
So then after that, Miranda ditches and then Samantha ditches to check on Richard. And we get the mad dash slapstick scene of her, like the elevators don't work. And so then she decides to run up 7 flights. And then she's like running up 7 flights in the pearl thong underwear, which we already discussed was a mistake, but it's fine that it's here for the comedy. And her ripping it off, 10 out of 10. And then she bursts into the room, and to Richard's credit, he is just sitting there.
He is just in a meeting.
And then we get one of the best breakups ever, where, you know, she's like, no one's here, thank God. And then she's like, I can't do this anymore. And he's like, what do you mean? And she's like, I can't handle this. You know, I can't handle like constantly checking around the corner to make sure that you're not cheating on me. And like, you know, goes off on this whole tangent. I do love where she's like, I'm old. I mean, I'm 37 after all, which like, you know, is a lie.
Yeah. I like her delivery too is very funny on that. You know what I mean?
Perfect.
It tells me that it's a lie.
And then he's like, Samantha, I love you. And she's like, I love you too, but I love me more. Yeah. Ba-da-bum, ba-da-bum, bum, ba-da-bum, ba-da-bum, dun, dun, dun. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Excellent.
It's good.
Excellent.
I mean, as catchphrases go, or like the closest thing she has to a catchphrase, it's so good. It's so fitting for her. It's such a good moment. I love it. And it's like just a condensed arc that's what was 3 episodes long of this. Like it doesn't stay around longer than I want it to. It ends really nicely in a way that just makes me very happy for her. It's not, you know, and I love that you have someone in this group of 4 who can like do that. Do you know what I mean? Like when she's gone, we're going to see Carrie running around like a maniac because Big left $1 million to Natasha as well. And she's like, wow, even in death, I'm like living like this. And it's like, yeah, and Samantha got out like a couple weeks in. Yeah. Like it's nice to have someone who can actually like take control of that. And I was just like, I stood and clapped.
I stood and I clapped.
And I saluted our patron saint, Samantha Jones.
Samantha Jones. That's actually such a good point that I didn't think about at all, which is, it's like 2 episodes ago, it's Dirty Martini, Dirty Bastard. Mm-hmm. They get together last episode. They're broken up by this episode. So and like, you haven't even seen the Richard of it all yet.
Right.
And like, it is so quick, but also it's like, I don't want to stay with this cheater. Like, me as a viewer, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. All around.
Excellent. Just good television. Just good television.
Right in my veins. So then we cut to Carrie and Charlotte at the bar, and, 2 guys sort of check them out. And then Charlotte's like clearly flirting with the guys to like try and make something happen. And Carrie is a buzzkill because Carrie's like, we're supposed to be friends, hanging out as friends.
Gosh.
And then, she's like, I don't want to be going on some terrible double date when I could be having a real conversation with you. And then Charlotte's like, oh, no, they left. And Carrie's like, problem solved. I'm like, that's a blaring fire alarm.
5-alarm fire.
I mean, on some level, I get it, where it's like there are those instances where you want to be with your friends and not be with your friend's boyfriend, or be constantly like dating for guys or whatever. But last episode, Carrie looked in Miranda's eyes and said, you're a mother. So my tolerance is low.
Yeah, exactly. We're not feeling very patient. Also, just again for the context, if anybody cares, it's Charlotte's birthday.
Yeah, let her do what she wants.
Actually, she wants to flirt.
A great point. What does it say that I completely forgot that it was her birthday?
It's okay. It's okay. Everyone listening was just literally also went, oh yeah.
Like, let her do what she wants to do. Like, you don't have to date those guys.
Yeah, your divorced old maid friend wants to hit on some guys at the bar.
Let her do it.
Go be her wing woman.
then all she does is insult her on the boardwalk tram. This really, that we don't get closure on this, is like wild to me.
Yeah.
I'll go through it and then we'll bitch.
Okay, yeah, go.
So Carrie and Charlotte, they're on the boardwalk tram, and they're talking about the guys, and Carrie's just like, I want to, skip all this drama and all this back and forth with guys, and like, I just want to be here and enjoy each other's company like now. And Charlotte's like, but the drama is life. Like, the drama is everything. Kids, anniversaries, they mitzvahs, wedding, like that. Like, that's life. Having those like crazy moments or whatever. And then Carrie, a woman who has just gone through like a very painful divorce, turns, looks at her, says, well, don't bank on that happening. And then Charlotte like looks at her with like such a pained look. And then Carrie's like, you go back to the hotel. I'm going to get off and like get some saltwater taffy. And Charlotte's like, are you sure? And then she's like, yeah. And then we never talk about it again. It's her birthday.
Yeah. It's her birthday. And you just like left her alone on the little train.
To be like, well, don't bank on that happening.
Yeah. Sorry, honey. Here's the thing. But like, what was it, last episode? Or 2 episodes ago, where Charlotte said that really rude thing of the
oh yeah,
it was like, there are 2 great loves and you already had yours, you know what I mean? And it's like horrible, and we're in Mean Charlotte era, but Carrie's like doesn't have a mean era because she's always mean. And it's like, here it's so much funnier somehow because like you said, it's like she is just freshly divorced, and at least with the Carrie one, it's like, oh well, it was like a slip of the tongue, and she's kind of like, oh I didn't mean it, whatever. It's funnier here that Carrie says that and doesn't like, sorry, she immediately is like, all right, I'm gonna go get taffy, bye. Like, there's something so much funnier about that. I don't know why I'm so tickled by them being so mean to Charlotte. I just think it's such a good bit.
She's just like an easy target.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. crocheting her like baby things or whatever, and they're like, "You old maid, you stupid bitch. We don't want to."
You harlot hag. Christ.
Anyway, I'm gonna go get taffy. I'll see you later.
Yeah. Anyway, you go back to the hotel. You don't get to come on the boardwalk.
She's like, I wanted to hang with my friends. Anyway, bye, friend. I'm gonna go hang by myself.
Yeah, literally. What? Stupid. That's crazy. Where she's like, we need to hang out in the here and the now. Anyway, bye. Also, you're gonna die alone.
An incredible friend. Carrie's an incredible friend.
Hey, that's an emotional retirement plan.
Yeah. God.
Woof.
Unfortunately, I left. Ridiculous.
So, then we get, I think, probably the most like, how could this happen to me moment in the whole show. Which is like, and we put it in our Baldur's Gate video. It makes me laugh. I like thought of this moment when we mentioned it in our Baldur's Gate video because I was like, this moment has to be in there somehow. It is like the most quintessential moment ever.
It makes me laugh. It made me laugh.
Carrie's sitting on the beach, eating her taffy alone, you know, gazing off into the ocean. She's like, I'm hiding from my friends. I'm hiding from life. And then we get this delicious moment with this old couple where he's, you know, the husband is like, aren't you going to put on your bikini? And she's like, none of us are wearing any bikinis anytime soon. You know, it's like playful ribbing. And then she's like, do you want to go? And he's like, no, I want to see the sunset. And she's like, you and your pink sky. And then they like cuddled together. It's just like delicious.
It's so good.
And then Carrie's there
with her taffy.
And she's like, sometimes life is worth gambling on. And then they do this like wide shot where it's like seagulls.
Yeah. Yeah.
And her just like so lonely and so small.
Yeah. And the piano playing with this. I mean, it's Chef's Kiss. It's so funny. I mean, it's especially funny because of the context from Baldur's Gate, but it's like, even on its own, it's just so funny because it's so pathetic.
It's
like,
just
so sad. It just kind of like, and she's sort of sitting with a big slump, you know, on the chair, like chewing her taffy. Seagulls are coming to eat her taffy. Like, it just is a sad sight.
And then you're like, it can't get sadder. And then they cap it off with like, she decides to gamble the coin.
Yeah.
And she puts it on 36, clearly, you know, their age. And then she has that whole exchange where she's like, what's after 36? And he's like, well, you just fall off the table. A metaphor.
A metaphor.
And then he spins the roulette wheel and he's like, 29, and takes her chip away. And the way she just like goes like, well, and like shrugs.
Yep. It's so good. It's so good. And her little nod, it's almost like she's in on it and being like, yeah, that would have been a cheesy end to this. You know what I mean? Yeah. She's like, that's right. That's right. Okay, you have that.
It's like there's Citizen Kane's Rosebud. It's Chinatown, Jack.
Okay.
And then there's, well,
yeah.
AFI. Look it up.
Yeah. AFI, return our calls.
And then all the girls are taking the bus back home. And they're all sort of ribbing each other where Miranda's like, I can't believe you gambled the coin. And then, you know, Carrie's like, I can't believe you broke up with Richard before we could all fly back on the jet. You know, like they're all just sort of commiserating together. Mm-hmm. And then Charlotte's like, should we play old maid? And Samantha's like, aren't we? And then Carrie remembers to get the picture.
Yes.
And they get this picture of all four of them. And it's even more beautiful than the staged picture because, you know, it's just like them in this like honest, shitty moment. And that's what I mean, where I'm like, this episode has like a poetry to it.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree. It's crazy how much has happened and we got through in just 30 minutes. Like, you know, the ending is good. It feels earned and it feels like it's kind of on theme, you know what I mean? There's just like a vibe to the episode. I loved it. I loved it. And it feels real. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of real, for all of the crazy kookiness, there's also like very real things happening here, right? Like, I think when Carrie said something earlier in the episode about like, well, why would I waste my evening talking to a stranger guy, which would be awful, when I could be talking to my friends? And my roommate was passing by and she was like, oh my God, this is literally me. Like, I say this all the time. Or when she does the, I don't want to skip the drama. That's life. There was a semester in college where it was like me and two of my friends in this like our little like friend group. Each of us was having boy problems at the same time, which is like very funny. Highly recommend. And then you're like, because you're all just taking the turn, like comforting each other. And it was so funny because every time we would like get to the point where we're like crying or whatever, and we sort of like are kind of finished, we'd be like, but isn't this life? We'd be like, aren't you having fun though? Like we were just kind of this joke of like, but it's kind of fun. Like it is sort of fun to be miserable and have heartbreak. Like we still to this day will like use that line. We'll be like, but isn't it kind of fun? Yeah. Isn't this kind of fun that we're like having drama? So I thought of that a lot. I was like, oh, I should text her and say how she's doing. There was like so many little moments like that just made me very happy. I see why this is one of your favorite episodes because it made me very happy too.
Well, and I think because it is such a beautiful message, right? Which is like, I mean, I talk about it in my one-woman show, Love in the Time of Fifth Grade, coming to a New York City theater near you, where I didn't go on a single date for 5 years. And part of that was because I had crazy work schedules and then I moved to New York City and it was just like craziness. But the other part of it was I was like, I just don't want to interject crazy in my life right now. Mm-hmm. And then one day I just had that realization where I was like, the cost of that is that I'm not living life. Mm. You know what I mean? Not that everything is about a man or everything is about dating, but like that is a part of life, that I just like couldn't connect to with people. To your point, like everyone around you is like dating and having these terrible experiences. And there's something really precious about being like, oh, he stood you up. Well, my guy broke up with me on a Post-it. Har, 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 har. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I realized like how much I was missing out on. That was like a part of life that I was really missing out on. And like that got me to be like, okay, as much as we hate this or whatever, like we're settled now, like let's get back on this nightmare train. It's like you have to kind of choose to embrace the nightmare because like that's life.
Yeah. Yeah. Beautifully put. You have to learn to embrace the nightmare because you know what? That is life.
That is life. This is now where I'd like to read the excerpt from the Sex and the City Kiss and Tell little behind the scenes book, like we always do. This episode was written by Julie Rottenberg and Eliza Zaritsky, two of the writers who went on to And Just Like That. And Julie Rottenberg, I think they're producers and writers, but anyway, you get my point. Yeah. Julie Rottenberg writes of this episode. Charlotte and Samantha take the jet to Atlantic City, and they were originally to return on the jet too. But that ending is fantasy Sex in the City. Instead, we put these glammy girls who have been broken down back on the bus, which was the more honest way to end their story. We really like that because some of our worst and most disastrous trips are the ones you look back on and laugh.
Very true.
Beautiful.
Very well put.
Beautiful.
I love that. It's so true, though.
Well, on that note, we end all our episodes as we end all our episodes with our high and our low, our rose and our thorn. Let's start with the negative. Emily, what was your diarrhea of this episode?
My diarrhea for this episode was referring to an actual person, Magda, and being like, throw money at the problem.
Yikes.
Didn't like it.
Yeah, mine would definitely have to be, don't bank on that happening. Woof. What was your high of the episode? What was your release the Kraken? This is tough. Too many.
Yeah, there is a lot, and it did change over the episode. I feel like I would write down a thing, and this was the only time where, honestly, actually, yeah, maybe the only time where I've gone back and been like, no, I want to change it because there's a lot of high. But I'm going to give it to something really small. I was just very tickled by the way that Carrie shrieks when she's like, we're going to go see ZZ Top or whatever she's suggesting in the moment, and she does a little like, ee! And then like everybody walks away from her and separates to go do their own crisis, and I just found the whole thing very funny.
Yeah, for me, it's the columning on the notepad. It just like really hit me this time. I don't think I've ever paid attention to that.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, how beautiful and how lived in.
Yeah.
Like a lived in choice, you know? Because like, yeah, why would she bring her laptop to Atlantic City? That doesn't make any sense. In those days, no.
No. That's plugged in all the time. Oh, but now she's taking her laptop to like Virginia. She's got to keep writing her book.
The woman.
The woman.
Well, if you'd like to hear us rant about the woman, you can subscribe to our Patreon, patreon.com/sisterpigs, plural. YouTube made us do that anyway. You can listen back to our catalog. You can listen to our episode. It has the picture of Carrie with the bad hair and the bad makeup on the thumbnail. That's one where we reference this episode basically almost exclusively. If you're looking for more juice to squeeze from this episode mixed with mushroom people. I said what I said.
It's good. It makes sense. Trust us.
Other than that, we appreciate you listening. And until next Wednesday, bye.